All right, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
We're a part of the camp prophets in Babylon. And first and foremost, we want to give all glory, honor, and praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, QADASH. Okay. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. I'm the brother Ashar. Next to me I have
Shaquat.
All right. Salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered among the four corners of the earth. In this class, we want to go into the lot of a prophet and responsibilities. Okay, I got responsibility in the etymology, and it reads, it says fact or condition of being responsible, accountable, or answerable. All right, and you know what scripture say in the book of Job chapter 38 and verse 3, it says, gird up now thy loins like a man. So a man will always have responsibilities, man, and you have to go through it no matter what. Okay, Jonah was a perfect example, man. He had to go through affliction, and we're going to touch up on that. But guess what? He still had a job to do and a duty to do, and he did get it done. Okay, and actually get that first scripture, Baba Kasha.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 9, and it says, a man's heart deviseth his way.
So a man can think, oh, I'm going to do it this way, I'm going to do it that way. But guess what? Go ahead.
But the Lord Yahawah directeth his steps.
So physically, in this world that we live in, you're going to be controlled by the Most High to do what the Most High wants you to do, whether you like it or not, man. You're going to function that way. So as you're thinking, I'm going to do it this way or get it done this way, all right, to complete the duty, the mission, your responsibility, no, the Most High has other plans. So that's why you're not supposed to make haste in the time of trouble, man. You have to understand when you're catching hell or you're going through it, it's also you can put your trust in YAHAWASHI. And that's what Jonah did. Although he catch that hell, he still believed. Okay, didn't shake his faith up and he stopped doing, becoming a prophet, man. He didn't stop doing that because why? The Most High created Jonah to be a prophet, man. Okay, get that scripture real quick. The next one.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 32. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets.
See, so your spirit, whatever it may be, all right, in the times past, it's still doing the same duty and responsibility that it's supposed to be doing that the Most High requires of it to do, man. It's going to get the job done. So if you're a prophet, you're going to get the job done as a prophet. And Jonah was the example. He didn't stray away from doing what he was supposed to do. No, all things written aforetime was written for our learning. The Most High did that so that way we can teach upon it and have that faith to understand why we go through certain things and why certain things we don't get it the way that we want it to be done. Okay? It's not always going to be your way. But guess what? The Most High is going to make sure that you complete the mission and complete your goal. So you might think one way of you completing it, but it ends up being done a different way. Okay? And that's just you still leaning on and trusting in YAHAWASHI. Okay? So going back to Job chapter 38 and verse 3, it says, gird up now thy loins like a man, for I will demand of thee, and answer thou me. So the Most High is saying you got to answer him. And that's being responsible, man. Because in responsibility it says answerable. We have to always give an answer, man. Okay, so when the Most High is asking for things or he wants you to do things, which we're going to get into that, you have to be able to do that, okay? Because responsibility also says that for which one is responsible. So as a prophet, you're responsible for certain things, man, all right? That's why no matter what, you're under subjection to the will of the Heavenly Father, whether you like it or not. It says a trust. The Most High trusts us with his word. Okay, so we have to what? Continue on this path and continue catching that hell that we catch and still preach. All right, still believe. It says duty. Okay, so that's what responsibilities are, and we have to be able to do these things as a man. That's how you know when the scriptures are talking about men and the Most High is dealing with men. What men are we talking about? The men that is handling these responsibilities. Okay, go ahead.
It's the book of Jonah, chapter 1, starting at verse 1.
You want me to read that one for you?
No.
You got it? All right, go ahead.
Now the word of the Lord Yahawah came unto Jonah, the son of Amittai, saying, arise, go to Nineveh, Salakia, that great city, and cry against it.
See, so as a prophet, we have a job, and that's our job. We're crying out to the Heavenly Father for judgment on these wicked societies continuing.
For their wickedness is come up before me.
See, so there's a reason why the prophets are on the scene, even to this very day. There's nothing new under the sun. That means it's a wicked city. So when you see the prophets out preaching, all right, and crying out, that means, hey, the city's wicked, all right, and judgment needs to come. Okay, and that was Nineveh's duty, man, to do that. All right. That's why I said the word of Yahawashi came to him saying that. Continue.
Verse 3, but Jonah rose up to flee unto the Tarshish from the presence of the Lord Yahweh.
See, so Jonah fled. Okay, he didn't do what the Most High told him to do. Okay, continue.
And went down to Joppa, and he found a ship going to Tarshish.
See, so that was his duty. And see, this is a perfect example for us to consider, man, and think. All right, you have a responsibility as a prophet. You have a responsibility when you got this word, this proper understanding. Now, what are you doing with it? Okay, it's easier said than done. You have to put it in action. Go ahead.
And he found a ship going to Tarshish, so he paid the fare thereof and went down into it.
See, so he devised a way. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it that way. I'm not gonna do what the Most High say. Okay, and we're gonna keep going, keep going.
To go with them to Tarshish from the presence of the Lord Yahweh.
So he fled, man, and he didn't want to be in the presence of Yahawah, man. All right, that was a job and a task that Most High gave to him, and he wanted it to be done. All right, he wanted Jonah specifically to do it. Go ahead.
Verse 8, then said they unto him, tell us, we pray thee, for whose cause this evil is upon us? Who
caused this evil upon us? So, all right, the other people that was on the boat, all right, there was a storm that came, okay, and now they're saying, what is the reason for this storm to come? Why is it so vicious storm? Why is it so evil, man? Why are we in a bad time right now? Because evil goes into bad times, and they wanted to know the purpose and reason for it, because everything is done for a reason. Go ahead.
For what cause this evil is upon us, what is thine occupation?
What is thine occupation? They asked Jonah, man. Get that word occupation real quick, man. Okay? Because at the end of the day, we're responsible for certain things. Especially as a prophet, we have high responsibilities, man. Okay? And we have to do what is required of us to do, man. We have no choice. Even if we didn't want to do it. Because Jonah fled, and then that evil still was on him. That pressure, that affliction was still on him. Go ahead.
4399. Melacha.
All right, get the outline biblical usage.
And it says occupation, work, business.
Work, business. This is a business, man. This is a work, man. Okay? And we got to what? Make full proof of that ministry. All right? So we have to fulfill the lot of a prophet, man, if we be those men. And the Most High will give us a spirit to endure and to be able to overcome all the hell and persecution. That's why this was written for a reason, him to flee. The Most High made him flee, all right? And had it in his mind to, not do the will. But guess what? At the end, he had to come back and do the will. All right? Because we're going to get into that. But continue.
Property, work, something done or made, workmanship, service, use, public business.
It says service use. The Most High is using us, all right, as a vessel. Okay? So, we're in a privileged position, man. This is a privileged position to have the word and speak the word, man. And speak the 100% truth. Okay, is that all on that? Yeah, that's all. Go back to occupation, man. So they wanted to know Jonah's occupation, man. Go ahead.
Let me continue.
Yeah.
And whence comest thou? What is thy country? And of what people art thou?
Mm-hmm. They wanted to know. All right, they're trying to check up on who this man is. Why is this hell coming on us, man? Why is we in this position right now? So they had to question Jonah, man. They're like, hold on, man. Who is he, man? What is your occupation, man? Go ahead.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 13.
Hold on, because what did What did he say?
It's the book of Jonah, chapter 1 and verse 9. And he said unto them, I am in Hebrew, and I fear Yahawah.
See? And who right now in this time period saying that they are the Hebrew Israelites? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that are converted into this truth, man, that believe, the believers. So now, go back, reread it again. I am a Hebrew, go ahead.
I am in Hebrew, and I fear Yahawah, the God, the Most High of heaven, which hath made the sea and the dry land.
Mm-hmm. So the Most High, what created all things? And that's who we fear. See, and that was given to Jonah to fear the Most High YAHAWASHI. All right. So although he fled and didn't do what the Most High told him to do, he still had that fear on him, man. He still was a believer, man. And that was a gift given to you, man. Okay. So get the fear real quick, because see, when you have this fear, you obtain this wisdom. So you're in a privileged position. So although, hey, the Most High, you might think, oh man, am I doing it wrong? Like even with Jonah, he left, all right, to Tarshish, man. Even though the Most High wanted him to preach to Nineveh. But see, the Most High put it in him to do that, all for this purpose, so you can understand, even though he didn't do what the Most High said to do, all right now though, at this present time, in the scriptures, the Most High still put it in him to fear the Most High. And let's get that fear, because the fear is very important. So that means he still believed. Okay, continue.
That's what
the fear.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 1 and verse 14, and it says, to fear the Lord, YAHAWASHI, is the beginning of wisdom.
The beginning of wisdom, meaning this. If you fear YAHAWASHI, you will have obtained wisdom, man. Okay? And that's the beginning of it, though. And wisdom is everlasting, so you increase. Okay? So that's why you're supposed to what? Value this truth. And you're supposed to use your time, energy, and effort to increase in the spirit. Continue.
And it was created with the faithful in the womb.
See, so the faithful in the womb was the ones that got this fear. So Jonah already had it. That's why he's a prophet. All right? So it shows you, even though Jonah fled from the presence of YAHAWASHI, he still what? Had that fear on him, man. That's something that no one can take away, man. All right? Let me get this, a crown of wisdom, man. Go ahead, what you got, man?
Oh, this is Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out the womb, I sanctified thee.
Sanctified thee. Okay, so before, this was predestined, man. All right, the Most High already knew you. He knew what your job was going to do. He knew what you was going to do before you even done it. So when Jonah fled, the Most High already knew he was going to do that, man. It was written for him to do that. All right, go ahead.
And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
So Jonah was ordained, and so is the men right now that are prophesying, all right, and have this fear on them of YAHAWASHI, because why? It was created when you was born.
Yeah, even though when you were born, you came up, in the world, you had aspirations to do other things, like trying to be a rapper or a ball player, man. Mm-hmm. But the Most High had it to where He put you in a situation where you coming in His word, man. Mm-hmm. And brothers, we didn't think we were gonna be doing this, man. But it was all predestined. When your mama had you in the belly, man, in the womb, the Most High had it to where you were gonna be doing this, man.
Mm-hmm. And to touch up on what the brother was saying, he said, like, we had the fear and we still was doing the things in the world, and then we got woken up. How did we get woken up? Here's a perfect example with Habakkuk, the prophet Habakkuk. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 3 and verse 2. Oh, YAHAWASHI, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. See? So all we got to do is prophesy to the wind, and that will wake up the elect, man. All right, so when the words of the Heavenly Father are spoken by His men will wake up to it. Why? Because they'll hear the speech, and then that fear that was in them as a kid when they was a baby, and they was born with the fear, it is quickened in their spirit, man. Okay? It says, oh, YAHAWASHI, revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years, make known, and wrath remember mercy. So why did the Most High tell Jonah to go over to Nineveh and prophesy against that wicked country, man, that wicked place? So that way that people that will hear, the ones that the Most High wants to show His mercy upon, will be quickened in the spirit and will come and, worship the Most High, man. They will believe.
My sheep hear my voice.
Mm-hmm. So there's a purpose. The Most High is not going to just send judgment on all these places without saving His men, His people, man, His believers, man. Because, see, you already have the fear in you when you was born, but now it has to be unlocked. So that's the purpose of us prophesying outside and doing this work and handling our responsibilities and doing this duty, man. It's very important. You're in a high privileged position, man, with a high responsibility on this earth. Continue.
That's it on that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna grab verse 14.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's the book of Jonah, chapter 1 and verse 14.
Oh, Salakia. Before you go into that, since we're talking about the fear real quick, man. All right, this is the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 1 and verse 18. It says, the fear of the Lord, YAHAWASHI, is a crown of wisdom. So whoever the men are, they already have the crown, man. They had the crown before they was born, man. It said it was created with the faithful in the womb. Before you came out of your mother. All right, you already had that crown, man. You was already a king, man. A king needs a crown, man.
Before you even took your first 2 steps, before you even said your first word, man, you had that crown.
And people don't understand. They always, these people that worship women, man, they're in the wrong because they're like, your mother gave birth to you and created you. No, she didn't. You was already created with that fear and that crown as a king, man. Before you came out, man. It was in the womb you already had it, man. Before you existed. YAHAWAH is all, we be the men, but the men already have it, man. It says, making peace and perfect health to flourish, both which are the gifts of the Most High. See, it's a gift. It's not given to everybody. So if you have it, cherish it and praise the Most High for it. It says, and it enlarges their rejoicing that love him. See, you'll be rejoicing because of it, man. All right? Go ahead. You'll increase.
It's the book of Jonah, chapter 1, starting at verse 14. Wherefore they cried unto YAHAWAH and said, we beseech thee, O YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, we beseech thee, let us not perish for this man's life.
So those men that was on the boat, once they found out he was a Hebrew and, oh, damn, he's a prophet, man. He's a Hebrew Israelite that fears the Most High. Oh, hey, man, hey, this is why this is happening to us because you catching that hell. All right, the Most High chastises us. All right, so that way we won't be judged with the world, man. All right? And also, read that again.
It's the book of Jonah, chapter 1 and verse 14, and it says, wherefore they cried unto YAHAWAH and said, we beseech thee.
They said they cried unto YAHAWAH, but before they was praying to their own gods, man. All right, before that chapter. So now that they heard that, they was like, oh, man. Hey, man, we got to be serious right now, man. Because this shows you that the other gods was false gods, man. They was worthless. Guess what? Then they believed. Then they like, oh, it's time to stop the bullshit. That's what they was like. They was dumb idols and the other nations of the false gods. They said, oh, hold on, we got to forsake that. The Most High is about to start doing some judgment, man. Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 39. He kills and makes alive, man. All right, so they became believers then. They physically seen that hell that was catching on Jonah, man. All right, that's why we go through so much hell too, man.
Well, the scripture says, if words don't teach,
adversity will. There you go.
Prime example right there, man.
Go ahead.
It says, we beseech thee, O YAHAWAH, we beseech thee, let us not perish for this man's life.
Yeah, so they didn't want to be joining hands with this be responsible. They're like, nah, we gotta find out how we can be delivered, man, out of this evil time that we're in with this storm on the ship, man. Go ahead.
And lay not upon us innocent blood. For thou, O YAHAWAH, hast done as it pleased thee. Verse 15.
Yeah, see, it say the Most High done as it pleased him. The Most High will always allow everything to happen in the way he wants it to be done, man. All right, go ahead.
Verse 15. So they took up Jonah and cast him forth into the sea.
See, they made that decision. Oh man, you're the reason, man. And the solution is for us to get away from you, man. We can't be around you, man. You got the Lord angry. Okay, go ahead.
And the sea ceased from her raging.
See, it stopped. So they was fine. It was like, oh shit, he got a job to do, man. You a prophet? Hey, go do your job, man. Don't be around us, man. All right, go ahead.
Verse 16.
That's Jake, though, man. Jake don't. Hey, man, when you got the spirit on you, though, these worldly Jakes don't want to be around you, man. Because why, man? Hey, they know what time it is, man. All right, there's a big responsibility for a Hebrew Israelite man that fears the Most High, man. He has a huge responsibility on this earth, man. Go ahead.
Verse 16. Then the man feared YAHAWAH exceedingly.
It said the men?
Yeah, the men.
See? So that means they believe now. Go ahead. And exceedingly, man. Go ahead. It woke them up. Oh, that was the truth right there, man. Go ahead, man.
And offered a sacrifice unto YAHAWAH and made vows.
So see, they believed this. So the Most High planned it out. He was like, those men on Tarshish was gonna, see my works. All right, I heard that speech. Now I was afraid. Revive thy works, but remember mercy. So the Most High had mercy on these men. You know, he ceased it from storming. And guess what? They was praising the Most High. The water, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, man. The water, y'all. That's why we catch hell, so we can what? Overcome and see the Most High is like, I got you, man. You're gonna go through it, but he's like, I got you. And what made all that scenario be solved from that problem? Them praying to the Most High, crying out. So that's why we're supposed to cry out to the Most High, man. Cease without praying, man. Go ahead.
Verse 17. Now Yahawah had prepared a great fish to swallow up Jonah.
Yeah, he was like, hey, man, I ain't done with you now. See, so like he got the men on Tarshish on that boat, you know, and Jonah. Well, Jonah was sleeping, man. To him, it was like, hey, man, he probably was catching more hell before, you know, because we catch so much hell that like people in the world, they can't understand and comprehend it, the hell that we really catch. Fighting the demons and everything like that, man. Spiritually, physically, all them things, body elements, all these things, man. We catch so much, people are like, damn, why is that happening to you, man? But guess what? The Most High said, I ain't done with you, Jonah. That's why, hey, man, at the end of the day, we got to keep having that faith and belief when we're going through hell. Go ahead.
And Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Oh, this Jonah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Then Jonah prayed unto Yahawah, his God.
See, so he prayed. All right, go ahead.
Out of the fish's belly. And said, I cried by reason of mine affliction unto Yahawah.
So he said he's crying out because why? Now he's being afflicted. So before the Most High was like, go to Nineveh, prophesy against this wicked city, man. And he's like, man, I'm going to flee from the presence of the Most High. And then guess what? Bam! The Most High said, hey, I got something for you now, man. He put that affliction on Jonah. All right? Get that word affliction get that word affliction real quick, man. All right, in there. Because at the end of the day, we got scriptures, you know, to emphasize what's really happening, man. Because to this very day, we catch hell, man. And there's reasons why we catch hell. We don't just catch hell for no reason, man. All right? No. Get it out of the scripture. Get the scripture. You got it on the scripture, affliction? Which one are you in? Jonah chapter 2, verse 2? All right.
It's not popular.
Hold on, let me see. Chapter 2 and verse 2.
No, I went to it and affliction wasn't popular.
Hold on. Jonah chapter 2. Yeah, right here, by reason of affliction.
Get that. Popping up. Click it.
There you go.
No.
Hey, it was just your time, man. You know, you paying all this money for the internet, for the phone bill, and you know, sometimes it just doesn't want to do what the service is supposed to do, man. But guess what? We're gonna do what we're supposed to be doing, man. You know, let's go.
Strong's H 6869. Sarah.
All right, and go into affliction. What it say?
It says straits.
And scripture say, enter in at the straight gate, man. All right, for wide is the way and broad is the way. Wide is the wide and broad is the way that leadeth to death and destruction. Roughly paraphrasing, man. So the men that's in this truth, they're going through hell. Straits is a place of difficulties, man. Go ahead.
Distress.
Mm-hmm.
Trouble. Vexer. Rivalry.
Vexer. It say vexer, man. The Most High's gonna vex you, man. Yeah, that's what happened with Jonah. He's like, oh, he had that storm for those men that was on the boat, but Jonah was asleep, man. But then he's like, they tossed him out, and guess what happened? The Most High said, I got something that will get you right. Those men got right. They believe, they praised the Most High. They offered sacrifices, man, made vows. Jonah, then wait, what did it take to make Jonah do that? Go ahead, let's go back to the scripture, man. Verse 2, reread it.
It's the book of Jonah, chapter 2 and verse 2, and it says, and said, I cried by reason of mine affliction. That's
the reason. So that was his affliction. That's got him to be vexed. That got him to, be in straits in a place of difficulty. Everybody has a different threshold, and the Most High knows it. All right? He knows what you can tolerate and what you can't tolerate. And guess what? He gets you in that perfect hellhole, man, so you can seek him. Go ahead.
Unto Yahawah, and he heard me out of the belly of hell, cried I, and thou heardest my voice.
And see, when you cry out, the Most High will hear you, man. That's the thing. What did the men do on the boat? Cried out, and the Most High heard them, and delivered them. They believed. It was a storm. That's what got them to fear. But what got Jonah to get that fear that was in him, man? To, you know, be quickened in his spirit, man. That fish swallowing up, that big fish, man. So everybody has a different threshold, man. All right, continue.
That's it on that. But this for the affliction, man. This is the book of Hosea, chapter 5 and verse 15. I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense.
You got to acknowledge your offense. You got to know what you did to make YAHAWASHI angry. Why is this hell happening to you? So when Jonah got swallowed up by that big fish, man, guess what? Jonah realized, oh, damn, man. This is why this happening to me, man. I got to cry out now. I got to ask the Most High, forgive me. I'll do what you say now. Salakia, go ahead.
Taking acknowledging his offense.
Acknowledging it, man.
And it says, and seek my face.
And seek his face, go ahead.
And their affliction, they will seek me early.
See, so right when you catch, when that Most High put that hell on you, that's when you're going to cry out and do those things, man. That's why you got to always consider that too, though. If you stray away and you try to go do things that you want to do and all that, the Most High can jack you up, all right, and show you like, yo, man, you know, you need to be doing this, not what you thought you was going to do. Which Jonah was trying to do what he wanted to do, but guess what? The Most High straightened him up like a father's supposed to do, and then he got right. All right, go ahead.
This is Jonah chapter 2 and verse 8. They that observe lying vanities forsake their own mercy.
And that's what Jonah is saying. Like the Most High will give you mercy, all right, because you know the Most High is compassionate about his people. But you have to be serious. You can't be supplanting and, you know, not sincere. You got to be sincere about it. All right, but let's go into that word lying.
Strong's H 7723. Shav. Shav.
All right, and go into the outline biblical usage of it. Because he said they that forsake, that observe, which means what? And that word observe in the Hebrew is shamar. Okay, they that watch, they that keep. That's what shamar means, to watch and keep. So if you keep lying vanities, all right, you will forsake your way that the Most High has for you. And we're getting that word lying to get that understanding. You cannot be observing this, man. Go ahead.
It says emptiness, vanity, falsehood.
Falsehood, man. And this world is full of falsehood. Dreams. That's why they call it a dream. A dream is not true, man. All right. Now, you know, sometimes you can get a prophetic dream and things like that, like a vision. But in the majority of it, it's not true. That's why they say dream. Because right now you're awoke, you wake up, and now you got to perform what you're supposed to perform every single day. All right? You can go to sleep and see something or have it in your imagination, but it's not reality. And that's what Esau Edom wants you to be focused on. Lying vanities, things of nothingness, man. That's what this world promotes and has to offer for you. All right, go ahead.
Nothingness, vanity, emptiness of speech, lying, worthlessness of
worthlessness, man. Of what?
Conduct.
All right, of conduct, man. So even the people out here that's following these other religions and all that, that's not the true morals. That's not the truth. That's not righteousness, man. The Most High is only righteous. So your conduct, how you conduct yourself, you think you're a Muslim or you think you're this and all that, and you're trying to get high in those ranks, you're wasting your time, man. All right? All you false prophets and set up leaders to deceive the people, all right? Y'all wasting your time. That's worthless. And then we're going into the world of what? These dreams and aspirations to do what? Be an entertainer, a ball player, a famous person. And we got a precept to back up on that, man. And all these things will allow you to what? Not stay on your track as a Hebrew Israelite man that's supposed to serve YAHAWASHI. And guess what? We got to stay on our track. We got to keep our eyes single. All right, go ahead.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 9, starting in verse 24. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So
it said one receiveth the prize, and it said forsake their own way. So as we're in this path, we're running. You know, we're trying to get the reward, right? But guess what? You don't want to forsake your way by what? Observing lying vanities, man. Things that are worth nothing. They're all there to distract you, man. Keep your focus and stay on your path, man. And you know, it's so near that only one man can go in at a time. So it's you and YAHAWASHI at the end of the day. Okay? Go ahead.
So run that ye may obtain.
To obtain, man. Okay, that's what you want to do. When you're doing this run and this race, man, and competing and trying to get the reward, you want to be able to obtain. You don't want to obtain lying vanities, man, which is nothingness. That's what these entertainers do, man. Trying to get a Super Bowl ring, trying to get you want to know the true reward you want is a crown, man. That's what a king needs, is a crown. And the crown is what? Having that fear of YAHAWASHI, man. You have to have that fear. That's a crown of wisdom. But see, all these other people are out there chasing the wrong things. A bag, a yacht, Airbnb or whatever you want, a mansion or something.
A record deal.
A track car or whatever those cars are called, man. I don't even know, man. The ones that everybody likes, man.
Track
Hellcats. Those are you're obtaining nothing, like vanity, man. It's worthless.
Yeah, that car could, like a track car, that car could blow up the next day after you purchase it, man.
And when we see the end of this world and the beginning of the next world that's coming in, ain't nobody gonna be talking about no track car and a Hellcat, a V8 engine, man. Those things are temporal, man. They don't last forever. That's why you gotta always get tune-ups and fix-ups and changing the oil, all those things, oil change. Go ahead, man.
Verse 25, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown.
See, so it's saying they do it. So it means like, okay, there's two different ones of our people. The ones that are chasing vanity, lying vanities, which we went into that, nothingness. And then the ones that's actually getting something that's a true reward, something that's real. Okay, go ahead.
Can I add on too, man? It says they do it for corruptible crown, man. A prime example, man. Kobe Bryant, man. They said, I was watching this documentary. They said he'll get up 4 o'clock for practices and everything, man. He was giving everything he got. He got 5 championship rings. He got awards, MVPs, and everything, man. And now look at him, man. He couldn't take those gold medals and all that, and people could have broke through and stole his shit and everything. That shit was corruptible, man.
Yeah, and even the Super Bowl rings and all that. The next year, people forget about that. Who won the Super Bowl and all that, or your trophies or your stats.
Yeah,
So the next year.
Nobody's still thinking about who won the Super Bowl 5 years ago.
Yeah, or in 2017 and all that, man. Ain't nobody care, man. They're caring what's happening now because this world is based off of time. It's a short time that this man has to rule. So that's why it's always about now. The new iPhone, the new this, the new that, the new this.
The new track car.
And that's why every single year something new. All right? But an everlasting kingdom, none of that matters. And guess what? This crown is an everlasting crown. So you want to get that because these other things are corruptible, man. They will perish. All right? In the day of vengeance, man. All right? They will melt. Elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Yeah, that track car.
Day of YAHAWASHI.
That track car, that Super Bowl ring, them championships, it's not going to mean nothing in that day, man.
It's not going to matter. Riches profit not in the day of wrath. So the only true riches that you can stack up is this wisdom, man. All right, go ahead.
Continuing on, it says, now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we are incorruptible.
See, incorruptible, man. So that's this crown that we have of wisdom, and we didn't have to have no man take our crown. Let no man take that crown, man. Keep it.
Nobody could walk up to us, help the blick on us and say, give me your wisdom. and see, that's why I'm saying everything else is lying vanities, man. Going back to what Jonah said, he said they that keep, because observe in that Hebrew is shamar. So they that shamar, all right, lying vanities. You're keeping on to the corruptible. All right? You want the incorruptible, not the corruptible. Yeah. Don't hold on to that stuff, man. Don't be keeping that stuff. All right? Go ahead. Verse 26. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air.
Beateth the air. If you're beating the air, guess what? That's nothingness, man. You're hitting nothing. All right? That's vanity, man. It's lies, man. It's not true. All right? It's a waste of time. You're wasting your time. All right? So that's why you got to stay focused, stay on the mission, stay on the path, because there's a purpose to that. Everything else is a distraction. It's a waste of time, man. All right? Go ahead.
You want verse 27?
Yeah, everything that's on there.
But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway.
And we don't want to be a castaway, man. We want the Most High to still deal with us, man. So that's why, although we might catch hell, or we might sometimes, hey, like Jonah just did, he realized, okay, if I'm doing this, I'm forsaking the way. I can't be going on Tarshish and doing that. I need to go prophesy to Nineveh. I got a responsibility to do. That's very more important than a corruptible crown, whatever it may be, in this world that we live in. It's not about this present world, okay? This present world is temporal. It's going to be about you going into the kingdom, all right, and being rewarded for your works, man. The new kingdom to come, that everlasting kingdom. Go ahead.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 12, starting at verse 47. And that servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will. Neither did according to his will, okay? So that servant, we're all serving YAHAWASHI, so we have to understand that, all right, there's dualism in that. There's two sides, man. There's ones that will be doing the work and ones that won't be doing the work. The Most High is always does dualism, man. Just like how we have Esau and Jacob, man. The wicked and the righteous, all right? That's a balance. So even in this truth, there's ones that fall out and the ones that stay and endure to the end. We don't want to be the ones that fall out and be casted away. We want to be the ones that are preserved, man. Okay? And Jonah's a perfect example because he went back and did the work, man. He didn't just stay in that well and just got destroyed. Instead, he asked for mercy to the Most High, and the Most High gave it to him because then he acknowledged his offense. Oh, I was what? I was going after observing lying vanities. I was forsaking my way. That's why when you ask for forgiveness and things, you always have to acknowledge your offense. If you don't acknowledge your offense, you're gonna keep catching that hell, keep getting beat down, man, until you realize, okay, this is why I gotta put my body under subjection, man. All right, I can't be focused on this and that and all these other things. I gotta be clear-minded and sober, which means calm and collected in the spirit, man. All right, go ahead. Continuing on, shall be beaten with many stripes.
There's a huge punishment to that because they didn't do the will. Jonah did the will, though. That's the thing. Although he got afflicted, he still stayed on his path. And he got back and completed what he was supposed to do, the mission, man. Go ahead.
Verse 48. But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes.
So yeah, there's ones that, don't know, they're not going to catch that much hell, man. Because they wasn't, they didn't just say, oh yeah, I knew the will, I got trusted this word. No, instead they were like, nah, I'm just gonna be a nigga till the end and just die, man, regular. So the ones that is in the truth and fall out, they're gonna be beaten with many stripes, man. The Most High will preserve you for a huge judgment. All right, to prove like you can't mess with YAHAWASHI, man. You can't play. That's Jake trying to supplant. Jake faking the funk. You have to be really about this truth, man. And the Most High will try you, man, and test you. So you can what? Answer thou me, man. Gird up the loins like a man and answer thou me, man. Be responsible for your duty, man. All right? And we didn't even get duty in the etymology, man. But go back. Finish up that scripture, man. I'll grab it.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 12 and verse 48. But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. For unto whomsoever much is given of him shall be much required.
See, much is given, much is required. You was entrusted this word, you was given this wisdom because you had the fear that the Most High gave you. Now there's a much greater thing that's required of you to do. You have what? Responsibilities, man. And you have to do it. When he told Jonah to go prophesy over there, he had to go out there and do that, man. He had no choice. That was a very important mission. Jonah had the fear. Jonah believed. So the Most High said, nah, you gotta do this. I want you to do this. Go out there and do it. All right, go ahead.
To whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more.
So, it's a very important privileged position that we're in. And we're very responsible when you have this word with you, man. And you understand it, man. Go ahead.
That's it on that. It's the book of Jonah, chapter 2 and verse 9. But I will sacrifice unto thee with the voice of thanksgiving. I will pay that I have vowed.
See, so Jonah's gonna do what the mission and complete it, man. All of us, when we got in this truth, hey man, we have to continue. The Most High gave us the blueprint, the way, and He said, "This is what you're supposed to do." And you got to do it all the way to the end. There's no retiring. There's no stop doing it. No, you got to do it to the end, man. And Jonah had to do that, and he said, "Okay, I'm gonna complete the mission. I ain't gonna just fold up when it got tough." And guess what? When it got tough, Jonah didn't sit there and get angry at the Most High YAHAWASHI. He said Thanksgiving. Go back and read that again.
But
He's swallowed up in the fish stomach, man. Okay, go ahead.
But I will sacrifice unto thee with the voice of thanksgiving.
The voice of thanksgiving. So he's speaking, in his prayer, he's thanking the Most High, man. When you catch the hell, you better thank YAHAWASHI for learning, man. It's all a learning experience, man. Go ahead.
I will pay that I have vowed.
So He's gonna do what the Most High, all right, and Him, agreeing in, man. We all made a covenant to seek YAHAWASHI, man. And if you don't, you'll be put to death, man. Let me get that real quick, man. I don't want to make it long though. All right. But hey man, this is the truth though, man. This is the book of 2 Chronicles chapter 15 and verse 12. It says, "And they entered into a covenant, which is agreement to seek YAHAWASHI, power of their fathers." All right. So we're in this truth. We believe. So that means hey man, you have a high responsibility. It says with all their heart and with all their soul. So your heart is your mind. So you can't be chasing lying vanities, things that waste your time, man. Don't have your mind filled up with all that, man. All right? Stay on that path and be focused. Verse 13 says that whosoever would not seek YAHAWASHI, power of Israel, all right, not everybody. That's our power, our God. It said should be put to death. Whether small or great, whether man or woman. Jonah had received mercy. Why? Because he wholeheartedly seeked YAHAWASHI. That's why he gave thanksgiving, that he was able to acknowledge his offense to the Most High, make thy prayer before thy face, and offend less in the future. All right? Seek YAHAWASHI, make thy prayer before his face and offend less, man. Go ahead. And how are you seeking his face? By praying. You're going to the throne with what you're speaking on. All right? It's a very serious manner when you pray. Go ahead.
Salvation is of Yahweh.
Salvation is of Yahweh. So the only way you're going to be saved is if YAHAWASHI allows you to be saved, man. All right? It's up to YAHAWASHI. Go ahead.
Verse 10, and Yahweh spake unto the fish, and it vomited out Jonah upon the dry land.
Because what? Jonah acknowledged his offense. Jonah prayed to the Most High. All right? And he said, okay, I'm going to do what I'm commanded to do, man. All right? You go hold duty of man. Bring that out before we end it. All right? Because, see, that's the thing, man. That's the Spirit, though. The Spirit does it, man. That's the whole, you got to do what you're commanded to do, man. Go ahead.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 13. And it says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
So let's just get you straight to the point. Go ahead.
Fear YAHAWASHI.
You gotta fear him, man. And even the men that was on the boat feared him. Jonah feared him. And even to this very day, there's men that feared the Lord, YAHAWASHI. All right, go ahead.
And keep his commandments.
Keep his commandments. Do what you're supposed to be doing. Not keep what? Lying vanities, man. Because that's shamar, man. Shamar goes into keep. You don't want to be keeping lying vanities. That's going to make you forsake the way, the path. Instead, keep what the Most High tells you what to do, man, which is this word, man. All right, go ahead.
For this is the whole duty of man.
Whole duty of man, man. And we were just talking about responsibility, and responsibility goes into duty. Let's get duty in the blue letter, and I'll get duty in the etymology, all right? And I'll read it out real quick. So duty in the etymology goes into, the force of that which is morally right. And you know, the Most High is the only righteous, so whatever the Most High say is righteous, man. When you're doing what the Most High tells you to do. It says, let's get this. You got it, because that's pretty much what it has, you know. It say, obligatory service. So service, man. Obligatory service, that which ought to be done, So you're required to do it, man. All right. Okay, so the whole. Okay, so they don't got duty on there, but we'll do the whole. All right. So yeah, it don't have. So yeah, it was good that I brought it out in the etymology. We'll just keep it like that. That's your service. So that's you being a servant, though. Because if you're doing service, you're serving someone. Who are you serving? YAHAWASHI. Okay, and we're gonna end it off on that. Go ahead.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of YAHAWASHI, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
A living sacrifice, man. So that's what the Most High requires us to do, man. We gotta present. We gotta be present. All right. Jonah went back to Nineveh and preached. All right. You can read it for yourself, man. Read the book of Jonah, man. Jonah went back and did what he was required to do. All right. So that's why you gotta physically do it, man. Anybody can talk. Talk is cheap, man. Physically go out there and be present. Go ahead.
That ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service.
That's the service, all right? So we have this business that we're in, and we got to what? Push forth this ministry, all right, by doing our job, doing what we're supposed to be doing. And it say at the beginning, it says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High. And the Most High is what? It say, YAHAWASHI, to YAHAWASHI is salvation, man. So he's the only one that will give you that mercy. But are you doing what he requires you to do, man? And actually get that compelling to come in real quick, man. Because we got to touch upon that, man. The whole duty of man. What is the commandment? Let's get it.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 14 and verse 23. And it says, and the Lord said unto the servant, Go out into the highways and hedges.
Which is why we go out and do the work. We're being present. Our bodies as a living sacrifice. Present our bodies as a living sacrifice. Go ahead.
And compel them to come in.
Our people to come in. Go ahead.
That my house may be filled.
Yeah, because people that live in a house, they're all family. You don't have strangers in your house. So that's how you know it's for our people only, not everybody. The house of Israel, man. All right? And we got to fill that house up. By what? Prophesying and doing this truth, man. All right? Going out to the highways and highways and hedges, man. We got to do that. So that's why it's very important to go out there and do the work, man. All right? It can't be stressed enough. Anything you want to add? So with that, YAHAWAH, this was edifying. Call HALAL. YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Until next time we say, Shalom, DCA, Abba, Babal, soon.